live, and I will just repost everywhere else afterwards. But Friday and Saturday, I have my fabulous After 50 virtual retreat. So I have like 30 experts assembled that are all talking about how to make the second half of our lives the best half of our lives. Like, this is such a time of change and transition, but it can also be a time of reinvention. It can be an exciting time. It can be a time when we get to dive into things that we wanted to do our entire lives, and maybe just circumstances in life, like having, children at home, or, just whatever circumstances we've had in life have maybe kept us from fully stepping into some of those roles earlier in life. So I feel like this is when it starts getting good. It can be when it starts getting good. And so that's the whole focus of this fabulous After 50 virtual retreat. If you have not signed up for it yet, I would highly recommend you do it. It's nettamanley.com/fabulous after 50. So definitely sign up. It's free, and it's going to be a powerful and incredible event. So I'm excited because I have such a wide variety of experts, and I just wanted to share, there are experts from fashion designers and makeup artists and other stylists. We're going to be talking about color. We're going to be talking about capsule wardrobing. We're going to be talking about things like that, as well as grief and divorce and relationships, as well as mindset, as well as longevity, exercise, nutrition, just there, like I said, just a wide range of topics that we're talking about. So menopause is big. Energy, like having more energy, all of the things that we're working on and that we may be struggling with at this stage, these are things we're going to be talking about. So I want to share really quickly just 5 tips, 5 takeaways. I have been interviewing these experts and have been so inspired. And some of these interviews, you're just going to have to hear the whole interview, because your mind is going to be blown by some of the information that's out there that can really transform the way that you look at an area of your life. So the first tip is from a grief educator, Suzanne Jabbour, and she encourages us when we're going through grief, not something anyone obviously wants to go through or wants to talk about, but grief is a process that we need to move through if we're going to get to the other side and continue with our lives, right? So her top strategy for grief resilience is, she said, you just have to feel your feelings. You have to allow yourself to experience what you're experiencing. And these are her exact words. Top strategy for grief resilience is learning to recognize grief, turning to face and allow it and all the emotions it brings, so that we can carry on with a deeper connection to ourselves and to others. When we block a feeling like that, we don't allow ourselves to process it, we're going to not only not be able to process things ourselves or move on ourselves, but also it hinders our relationship with others. So I think that is really, really powerful. So that was the first tip. That's from a grief educator, Suzanne Jabbour. If you want to hear the whole interview with her, just sign up for the Fabulous After 50 virtual retreat. Like I said, it's free, nettamanley.com/fabulous after 50. Next is from Dwight Miller. He's an author and transformational coach, and he says that his first tip is to start being present to observe and notice yourself, your thoughts, and what you are feeling. It is so easy to see things in other people, but we don't often observe things in ourselves. So if we want to grow in whatever area we're in, or just experience our best lives, we need to start paying attention to what we're feeling and how we're processing things and why. Really just need to stop and pay attention to your changing feelings and your changing moods, and kind of check in with yourself on a regular basis. So that was very helpful, because often we're just moving on to the next thing, right? The next tip, and this interview with Dr. LJ is worth, just this one interview would be worth signing up for the Fabulous After 50 virtual retreat, which I mentioned is free. But she blew my mind when she said that things that we always take for granted are just normal, like hot flashes and like period cramps, are not normal. They are a sign that something is going on with your body. They are a sign that your body maybe isn't functioning as well as it could, and that we need to look at things like our toxic bucket, trauma that we've had in our lives, and inflammation, in our bodies and address those issues to really alleviate the symptoms that we're having when we're going through things like menopause, or any symptoms truly that we're having. She also said leaky gut equals leaky brain. Leaky gut equals leaky brain. So if you feel like you're experiencing brain fog or memory loss, or you just can't remember what you need to remember, it might not be that you're overwhelmed. It might not be that your brain is aging. It might be that you have leaky gut. I thought that was incredible. The next strategy is from divorce coach Chloe O. Now, she talks about navigating a divorce. Again, divorce is not something anyone wants to go through, but if you are walking through a divorce right now, her suggestion is to think long-term. Make sure you check that your divorce settlement will give you long-term stability. This means planning for what will happen when your circumstances change later, be it from children moving on or from retirement. So you want to look at what that's going to mean for you long-term and what that's going to mean for you in the big picture. Finally, last strategy is to be your own advocate. Susan Salinger, she's the most inspiring 80-something woman I've ever met. I think she said she's 81 or 82, but I don't really believe her because she's so fit. She has a TikTok called Grandma Games where she works out on TikTok. In her 80s, she has 10,000 followers. She's incredible. You're definitely going to want to listen to her. She wrote a book called Sidelined about how women can be their own best, how we need to advocate for ourselves in the healthcare system, and how to be your own best advocate when it comes to your healthcare. And so one of the tips that she shared, which I thought was so simple, but so like was definitely an aha moment for me, was to take someone with you to doctor's appointments. 4 ears are better than 2 ears. And I know for me, like if I take my husband with me somewhere, he hears totally different things than I hear, and he asks different questions than I ask. I think that's really, really powerful. So being your own best advocate, repeat back to the doctor what you heard so that you make sure that you heard it correctly. So that tip is from Susan Salinger. Like I said, over 30 experts in this virtual retreat. It is free. It's going to be fabulous. So again, netamanley.com/fabulous-after-50. I would love for you to join us January 12th to the 13th. Let me give you a couple of details. It's going to happen in a private Facebook group, but it's also going to happen by email. So if you're not on Facebook, you will not miss it. Also, you will have access to the recordings. If you're like, I'm not free January 12th, I'm not free January 13th, that's fine. The recordings will remain in the Facebook group through January 19th. So you can sign up and listen to them at your own pace. You're going to have information and ways to reach out to these various experts if you need support in any of these areas in your life. And it's just we're already in there talking, building a community. And I would definitely recommend you join us. So if we want this next stage of our lives to be the best stage of our lives, we need to have ownership of it, and we need to seek out the resources and the tools to address anything that's coming up in life, and to keep moving on and make this a powerful age of reinvention and of excitement, and really make this next stage a time where we get to really shine and bring our gifts. I'm very passionate about our God-given gifts and our God-given beauty, and recognizing those and continuing to develop and celebrate those as we age. That's my whole platform. That's what I talk about. And although these experts all share a wide variety of philosophies, we're all here to help support you in this next stage. So love you guys. I hope that you enjoyed this short takeaway of some of the tips that I have learned speaking to these multiple experts. I've been so privileged to talk to some of these women and some of these people. So definitely join that Fabulous After 50 virtual retreat. I will see you in it. I look forward to connecting with you in there, and have a beautiful and blessed week. Love you guys. Bye.